Hey, Kyle is wonderful here again with another wrestling review. This time it's AEW Dark, the 150th episode from June 28th, 2022, originally recorded on June 11th, 2022. So let's just get right into it. You can find my Being the Elite and the Dark Elevation review from yesterday on the channel, as well as the amazing, we're only 2 days out from the amazing Forbidden Door pay-per-view. Go check out that review as well. One of the best pay-per-views I've ever seen. But we start out hot here. We've got Willow Nightingale in action against Ashley Dubois. And Willow's out to her amazing music. She's been racking up some wins on Dark lately in Dark Elevation. Ashley, we've seen her. She's 0-3, I think, in AEW competition. She's French Canadian and most recently had a 3-week elevation tour in April. So this is her first time back since April. Uh, she lost to Anna Jay, Diamante, and Chris Statlander in that 3-week span. And there's definitely room for more women to be signed on the roster. So Ashley definitely looking to impress here with the recent injury to Red Velvet and Sky Blue, as well as not too long ago, Layla Hirsch got injured. So there is some openings on the roster potentially for these women. So we'll see how she does here. Willow's able to use her size to take control, much larger than Ashley Dubois. Um, and then Willow's throughout the entire match does a great job of turning to the crowd and fire them up. Good job of working the crowd by Willow. Willow definitely is able to showcase her moves, including a great seated senton. I mean, a great seated crossbody, kind of like we saw Dewdrop use on Raw. Ashley countered then and hit a great leg drop lariat, which Taz marked out hard for. Taz and Excalibur on commentary as usual. We get a massive spine buster by Willow, who then gets her back in charge. That spine buster was awesome. Crowd's chanting Willow now. Ashley hits a flipping neck breaker, so good match for dark standards here, back and forth. Willow hits the pounce and fires the crowd up even more. We get a cannonball into the corner by Willow. Then Willow takes her straps down and hits the Doctor Bomb for the win. Great match here. And the Doctor Bomb, if you don't know, is a gut wrench power bomb made famous by Dr. Death Steve Williams. And Willow's definitely a star. And I mean, can you imagine her in a 20-minute match with Sasha Banks, just for example? That would be nasty. So second match here, we got Aaron Solo and Nick Camarado of the Factory. They come out with QT Marshall, of course, their coach, and they're gonna face Matt Vandergraff and Null. And the team is Solo and Camarado has a record of 4-10 in AEW. There's no cage match page for Matt and Null, but I definitely remember seeing Null before. He's really tall. He's even taller than Camarado in this match. So the two smaller men start the match, Solo and Vandergriff, and Solo tags in Camarado right away. Nick hits a delayed vertical suplex, then shoves Null, who's on the apron, the much larger guy. Camarado takes Matt a little bit lightly, but Matt is able to maintain control by slamming him, and then hits a leaping elbow drop that looked nice from Camarado. Vandergriff now hits a snap DVD on Solo to buy him a little bit of time to tag out. Null's now in. Not too bad of footwork for a guy of his size. Definitely better footwork than like an Omos or a Great Khali, that's for sure. Null takes it to Camarado a little bit, but Solo gets in to stop all that. Camarado picks up Null, backs into the corner head first. Null hits head first and then hits a nasty Alabama slam. So Null was in like the position of the Alabama slam when he got dropped into the turnbuckle or hit into the turnbuckle. And the Alabama slam gets the win for the Factory. They improved the 5-10, the team of Solo and Camarado. And we got a singles match next. It's Matt Seidel versus Jake something. Jake has spent last few years in Impact as Cody Deaner's cousin. I think he was part of the Violent by Design stable ran by Eric Young before leaving the stable and then leaving Impact in March. So we've actually seen Jake on Dark 2 months ago, losing to Jay Lethal. And he's also been on NJPW Strong last month, losing to Brody King. So Jake's something really cool. Jake is probably twice as large as Matt Seidel, so this is going to be an interesting match. Jake starts out strong, but Seidel is able to use his speed, agility, and experience to take control. But one big elbow by Jake turns it around, and he gets a 2 count off that elbow. Big body block now, takes down Seidel. Jake something gets a bunch of big offense in, and Seidel's definitely in trouble here. Seidel finally turns it around and climbs to the top, but Jake throws him off. Jake nails a big spear in the corner, and he looks to end it, but Seidel reverses a suplex into a pin. 1-2, only 2. Seidel gets caught on a spinning heel kick, but reverses that catch into a Hurricanrana pin combination. 1-2-3, and the crowd boos a little bit. They kind of like Jake something in this match, and I could definitely see Jake something getting signed potentially. Depends on if Jake's going to get signed to the LA dojo for New Japan or not. So we'll have to wait and see what Jake something does in his career, but he's definitely come into his own over the last year or so. We see Lacey Nair in the back, the interviewer woman, and she's with Wheeler Yuta, who's going to be in the main event tonight, defending his ROH Pure title against Tony Nese in a match, Pure Rules match. Yuta says it's almost time for the most violent match I've ever been in, but first I have to prove myself that I'm the best pure wrestler in the world. And Tony, don't think I won't be violent in this match either. I will kick your beat. So good promo here by Yuta. That'll be the main event tonight, and that's a good one. So stick around for that one. Next match is going to be Athena versus Amber Nova. Amber Nova, another one we've seen in many matches over the last year. She's even appeared on Dynamite. She's lost all of them, and this is her third dark taping in a row. So not her third dark in a row, but a third set of tapings that she's been invited to. So Amber Nova, another one that might be on the fringe of maybe they sign a couple more lower level or to go on the lower end of the roster to fill kind of the spots that, like I said, Sky Blue, Red Velvet, and Layla Hirsch were filling, and now all three of those are injured. So we'll see how Amber Nova can do here. Big cheers for Athena. She's got some great looking gear, including a cool jacket. And Amber does almost like the Undisputed Era hand sign when she gets introduced. It was kind of funny. Amber's legs are super long, so that's definitely her trademark. She's got super long legs, and she's also got like thigh high boots on that like they're really tall too, and then there's still a lot of legs showing with little booty shorts. It's a cool look. Athena starts in control, but Amber battles back with a double Northern Light suplex, as in like 2 in a row. That looks pretty cool. Taz is now making fun of Amber's orange boots because Taz says, I wore orange boots once, and someone told me I'd never get over. Excalibur says, well, then you sold them to Amber, right? And Taz laughs and says, yeah, I used to wear thigh-high boots. So that was a pretty funny exchange. Athena does a delayed vertical suplex and shows it to all 4 sides before transferring it or whatever you want to say into a face buster instead of a suplex. That was pretty cool. Athena locks in a submission that involves locking the arms and then choking out her opponent with her leg. Looks pretty cool. I didn't catch a name for it. Amber taps out, and the crowd really loved Athena in this match. So good stuff here. We get Dante Martin versus Lucky Ali next. This is Lucky's second match. We last saw him in March on Elevation, losing to Frankie Kazarian, and great colorful pants on Lucky. Almost kind of looks like he could be a young buck. Lucky showed a ton of charisma during his introduction, so that was cool to see. Lucky isn't huge, but he's definitely bigger than Dante, and Lucky uses his power at the beginning. Dante shows off some good grappling to fight Lucky off. Dante then hits a nice drop kick, but Lucky is able to block a monkey flip attempt. Lucky then Lucky hits a great looking atomic drop into a knee breaker combo, like really cool. Lucky's really looking impressive here. And then Lucky shows off his grappling a little bit more, and that was good too. So Lucky and Dante eventually collide heads, and Dante then counters a suplex with a backflip. The pace quickens as Dante now goes on offense with his really quick offense. Dante almost wins with a picture perfect crossbody off the top rope. Lucky kicks out at 2. Lucky then tries some more grappling, but Dante's able to block, dodge, and counter. And Dante hits his nosedive finisher for the 1-2-3, the springboard moonsault, double springboard moonsault. Great match, and this is a great episode of Dark so far. And we still got a pure title match main event. So Taz was also feuding with the director during this match, which was pretty funny. He kept twice in a row. Taz says, "Oh, we're gonna look at this in the replay," and then it's something else. And Taz is like, "Well, the director told me it was gonna be this." So again, great funny stuff by Taz and Excalibur as usual on Dark. Julia Hart is gonna fight next against Valentina Rossi. Sadly, not Kayla Rossi. I miss her. You guys remember her? She was the bodyguard for Joey Janela. And then ever since Joey Janela's been gone, we've never seen Kayla Rossi in AEW. But she had a great look. She was super muscular and beautiful. Anyway, Valentina Rossi doesn't have a cage match page, but I do remember seeing her quite a few times. She has an 0-3 record in AEW. And she's been trained at Flatbacks and is Jersey born. She definitely has like a Italian. She does a lot of Italian like hands, like hey when she gets introduced. Man, we need to get her in the she needs to feud with Elektra Lopez. We need to get her in the Tony D'Angelo family in a hurry. Come on, NXT. Sign Valentina Rossi. Anyway, the entrance that Julia did last night, if you remember, on Dark Elevation was amazing when she was with Brody and Buddy. But her entrance here on Dark from a couple weeks ago, not that cool. She definitely hasn't excuse me. She definitely hasn't ironed out her entrance yet. She comes out wearing like a black bandana over her face or like her just her mouth region, and it looked more like she was uh tag teaming with Diamante other than the House of Black. So but it was much improved when we got the elevation version, which was yesterday, but canonically happened after this. So Julia starts strong and shows a ton of aggression, and Julie slowly and showed more and more aggression when she was still in the Varsity Blondes before joining the House of Black. So this definitely isn't her first match as an aggressive heel, because she was kind of already doing that on Dark and Dark Elevation, slowly turning more and more aggressive and heel. We get some nice offense from the youngster Julia here. She's definitely got a ton of potential. The two-time national champion cheerleader is super smooth on all of her flips. And Julia locks the arms behind Rossi to get a submission victory. Kind of almost looked like the Brutalizer. Next match is Marcus Cross versus Fuego del Sol. Marcus Cross has had 4 matches on Dark and Elevation at the beginning of the year, but this is his first match back since February 5th, since losing to the Varsity Blondes. Marcus is the guy that usually has like the Super Saiyan hair. It's all blonde and like all the way coming up, and it's like super thick and whatnot, but it's not up this time. It's down, which looks super weird. It's like straight and down, hanging like to the side, like parted down the middle, instead of all the way up like a Super Saiyan this time, which was disappointing. Anyway, Fuego has different gear on than usual, which I love that. That's probably something he did on purpose to make it look like, oh, Sammy still had my normal gear. So this one was like just gold and black instead of his normal one that has like the fire on it, yellow and red. Really cool touch there. I'm sure Fuego did that on purpose here to make it look like, oh, Sammy still stole my gear and still has it, or I never got it back, or whatever. Um, really nice springboard back elbow by Marcus, who then works on the leg. Fuego blocks a figure 4 attempt by Marcus and kicks Marcus out of the ring, then springboards onto him. Fuego then goes up top, but Marcus is able to knock him off. Fuego then lands safely on that and applies a dragon sleeper over the ropes. Pretty cool move there. Fuego hits a super ugly head scissors, a springboard off when he springboard back into the ring into head scissors. I think it was Marcus's fault. When Fuego hit him, Marcus completely lost his balance and kind of just stumbled forward, completely wrecking the move. Marcus then hits a Kamaguri, but then Fuego fights back. Fuego hits a Tornado DDT, which is normally his finisher, but he's able to transition the Tornado DT right into a submission, kind of like a cattle mutilation without the arms, just the head. I don't know what to call it, but I'm using like a bridge, while almost like a bridge dragon sleeper with 2 hands kind of deal. I don't know what else to call it, but really cool move there. And this little segment isn't over with. As before Fuego can continue celebrating, we hear QT Marshall over the PA system with a microphone. QT comes out with Camarado and Solo. And QT tells Fuego, yeah, we had an epic feud on Dark last year, but I came out here to say that I was wrong about you. I'm willing to offer you a spot in the factory, where the crowd immediately yells, no, don't do it. Fuego says no and leaves. QT, Camarado and Solo wanted to jump Fuego for saying no, but QT held them back. So maybe we'll see QT again try to offer Fuego a spot in the future. For the next match, first out, first time we get two entrances here. First out is the Wingmen's Ryan Nemeth and JD Drake. And then next out is Dark Order's Evil Uno and 10. And then they've got Silver and Reynolds coming out with them. But then Silver and Reynolds leave before the match starts. We get 10. We get a delayed vertical suplex by 10. The third delayed vertical suplex on the show. A little too much. They should have planned that better. That was the Ryan Nemeth. And Evil Uno and JD Drake both tag in now. JD hits a huge chop, then tags back in Nemeth. Evil Uno fights both of them off, but Drake distracts Uno from the outside. Nemeth knees Uno out of the ring, and Drake slams Uno into the apron, then rolling him back in. We get a bunch of quick tags to isolate Uno now, as the wingmen look to end it with a high-low. Evil Uno is able to kick out, then hits a neck breaker and gets the big tag to 10. So 10 comes in with a fiery hot tag. He hits pump kicks on both men in the corner. Um, then they try to double team 10, but 10 fights them off and hits a spine buster. Um, just as good as Willows. Willows might have been better earlier in the show, though, to be honest. JD back in now to save Nemeth. Dark Order then each hit a cutter. Both of them hit a cutter on Nemeth, but JD's in to break the pinfall up. Nemeth then hits a near fall with a pendulum DDT. Good competitive match here. Drake hits a moonsault of all things, and 10 is able to save Uno on that one. 10's now in with another hot tag, second hot tag of the match. They get a double team hot shot into a German suplex to Nemeth, then a discus lariat while Uno makes sure to distract JD, and they get the 1-2-3. So the other wingmen, Peter and Cesar, now run out, but Silver and Reynolds make the save, and Dark Order stand tall. So I'm assuming we've been seeing these Dark Order and wingmen feud for these last few weeks. So I'm assuming in a week or so we'll see the big 8-man tag between these teams. We got one more match before the main event, and it's Arya Davari versus Caleb Conley. Caleb is a longtime veteran who spent 5 years in Impact all the way until January. He was the last person to play the masked suicide character, and he did that for a while. And then he spent the last year or so as the lackey of the influencers, basically be relegated to a joke character. So it's cool to see Caleb back here as like a regular wrestler. Arya Davari has been trying out as a agent in WWE. So we've actually seen Arya Davari come out in a suit with like Joe Henning, who is, what was his name? Not McGillicuddy, but Axel Curtis Axel. So the two of them were like trying out. We've even seen Arya Davari on Raw a couple times, but so this is the true Forbidden Door, because those were just tryouts for a agent spot at WWE. So Davari apparently still coming over here for dark matches, where he's been on dark before. This is his Arya Davari's debut as in a singles match, but we've seen Arya Davari tag teaming with Invictus Cash, who's also Iranian. So those two have been tag teaming, but this is Davari's first singles match and Caleb's debut period, his first match in AEW. So the crowd knows Caleb better than Davari because of a lot of tapings in Orlando for Impact. Caleb gets all the cheers, and Davari basically nothing. Caleb starts out Davari got the entrance, by the way, and Caleb didn't. So Davari had music in the Titantron and everything. Caleb starts out strong, showing off a lot of his offense. Davari finally gets control with a great looking reverse DDT. Big chops on Caleb's to his knees. They were so effective, those chops. Caleb now tries to hit a senton, just a standing senton, but Davari gets the knees up. Davari stops in the corner. Um, or stomps in the corner while alternating his feet, which was pretty cool looking. We usually just see if someone stomps in the corner, they use the same foot over and over. So that was a cool move. Caleb's now in trouble. The crowd tries to rally behind him. Like I said, they like Caleb better here. And he spent a lot of time with in Orlando here. They always tape these dark matches in Universal Studios Orlando, by the way, if you didn't know. Caleb hits a really loud sounding elbow. That looked great. Caleb then hits a T Harris, so he's just really hitting a bunch of moves. And then all of a sudden he hits a backbreaker flatliner combo. So I haven't seen Caleb wrestle like this in a long time, probably since he's been the Suicide character. Uh, Davari then hits a neck breaker and climbs to the top rope, but Caleb's able to dodge the splash and hits a massive Blue Thunder bomb. I thought that was over, but Davari just barely kicks out. The crowd's now chanting for Caleb, and Davari just goes up and hits the magic carpet frog splash for the 1, 2, 3. So the crowd's booing Davari. He never did anything heel in the match. It was just they wanted the other guy to win. Either that or it's just the Florida doing Florida things and they cheered for the white guy. But nonetheless, we got our main event next. It's the ROH Pure title match. Defending champion Wheeler Yuta versus challenger Tony Nese, who comes out with Mark Sterling, smart Mark Sterling. And big cheers for Yuta in this one. The judges for this match are BJ Whitmer, Mercedes Martinez, and Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels. And the rules are for the pure rules match, you get 3 rope breaks. If you're out of rope breaks, you can no longer stop any pinfalls or submission with the rope. No closed fist to the face. You can do a closed fist to the body. And then if it goes to a time limit draw, then it goes to the judges instead of being a draw. We get some great grappling to start off, and this is going to be a great match. And yes, it ended up being great. We get Yuta working on the arm and Nese. Let's keep that in the back of our mind. Nese now hits a springboard moonsault, but misses it, but is able to land on his feet. Yuta does the same thing, basically landing on his feet off of a flip as well. Now Mark goes crazy, saying Yuta punched Nese with a closed fist, but everyone saw it was a palm strike. But with the refs now turned towards smart Mark Sterling, Nese uses a closed fist punch to the head of Yuta. So Yuta gets locked in a submission right after that and has to use his first rope break. He has 2 remaining. Nese stays in control using his strength. Tony Nese definitely has the strength advantage in this one. If there's one thing Yuta needs to do, it's definitely put a little muscle on his body. Yuta is now in trouble. Nese locks in a body scissors. Yuta is able to elbow his way out of it. Now both are on the middle rope. Nese gets the better of the exchange. Yuta grabs the rope while Nese takes Yuta off the rope onto his shoulders, and Yuta grabs the rope, and that uses up Yuta's second rope break. He has 1 remaining. Yuta then makes a comeback, hits a big clothesline off the top rope, then hits a dive on the Nese outside of the ring. The crowd is really loving this match. Smart Mark Sterling trips Yuta on his way back into the ring. The ref didn't see it, obviously. And then really smartly, Tony Nese locks just a simple chin lock in because Yuta's legs were underneath the ropes. This uses up Yuta's final rope break. I like that spot a lot, other than the cheating part, but it is what it is. Yuta then gets his only warning about using a closed fist to the face. So you are allowed 1 closed fist to the face, basically, but after that, you lose by disqualification, and the title would change on the disqualification. So right after Yuta uses his warning about closed fist, Tony Nese spits in the face of Yuta, trying to get him to punch again and lose his title. But Yuta then doesn't do that, hits a drop step German suplex instead, and we now notice that Yuta's nose is bleeding from one of the moves in this match. Pretty physical. Nese hits a really nice pump handle pile driver for a 2 count. I don't see that move too often. Nese then takes that right after that, locks in a Boston Crab. Yuta's out of rope breaks, don't forget, but there's nothing against using the ropes as leverage. So Yuta uses the ropes to basically climb back to his feet, which breaks the hold without having to, use a rope break that he no longer had. Yuta then hits the hammer elbows, like Daniel Bryan and Moxley do. And immediately after that, locks in the STF. Tony Nese taps out. And really, really good match. Great match here. Tony Nese is forced to shake hands because that's part of the rules after the match, but I am not quite sure what would happen to Tony Nese if he refused, but he reluctantly shaked anyway. Before Yuta can leave, Danny Garcia jumps Yuta from behind, and Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Ange are also here. So Matt Menard, Daddy Magic, gets on the mic to yell at Yuta while they beat him up and basically says, "We're going to win blood and guts tomorrow." So great match, great episode of Dark. They made sure to mention that this is the 150th episode a lot tonight, and they really delivered with a great show. So even if you already listened to every word I've said, I would recommend going and checking out some cherry picking some of the matches you might want to watch. So you can go find this for free on YouTube on the AEW All Elite Wrestling YouTube page. So I'm gonna get going. I'll be back later tonight with the NXT review. Maybe Triple H comes out at the beginning and makes it black and gold. So we'll have to see if I'm not holding my breath for that, but I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with more AEW coverage for Dynamite right after Dynamite, and you can check out all the other reviews I've got on here. I do MLW, NWA, Impact, all the WWE, all the NXT, and New Japan shows as well. So I'll talk to you guys again soon, and have a great day. Peace.